Hello everyone, welcome to this brand new edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendra Dix, here on this June 9th, 2018. Glad you're here. We got a whole list of Raw reports, SmackDown report, getting ready for Money in the Bank, plus the Impact Ring report for the fallout for Under Pressure, and a whole list of hot topics. Let's get started with the Raw report on this Monday Night Raw. Man, everything momentum is heading towards Money in the Bank as the Money in the Bank competitors win against each other. You know, Bobby Roode went against Braun Strowman. He did okay, but in the effort, he couldn't beat Braun Strowman. And then plus, in the main event, man, we'll get to that in the main event, like Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss tagged together against the Riot Squad. And losing after the Riot Squad, Alexa Bliss playing as usual as a heel, leaving out her fellow teammates, and Bayley came join the fray to help the team. And you know, next week it's gonna be I think a fatal four-way, something like that. I think something like that. Fatal four-way next week between those folk women. Also, speaking of women, Nia Jax was in the match against Natalya. Nia won against Natalya, but she showed concern. But then at the same time, Nia was, you didn't know if Nia was acting or what. And Ronda Rousey couldn't even figure out. So it's very interesting. Tensions are flaring between those two for the anticipated Raw Women's Championship match. Plus, Kurt Angle has been given a new authority figure to watch over him on Raw. And his name is Baron Corbin. After Corbin interrupted Kurt Hawkins' little winless streak. Kurt Hawkins couldn't defeat somebody. Got lost to the local jobber, and Baron Corbin been appointed by Stephanie McMahon, Commissioner of Raw, as the Constable of Raw. Keep an eye on Kurt Angle, his matchmaking and stuff. And I think Roman Reigns was in action along with Seth Rollins to kick off the show, where they went against Jinder Mahal and Elias. Be a great win for Elias. That Elias could be the next Intercontinental Champion. We don't know for sure. We'll see about that. And at the end, Reigns and Jinder Mahal had that little world of words against each other, heading into the match of Money in the Bank. So a lot of Money in the Bank implications going on. Speaking of implications, Finn Balor went against Kevin Owens. And that match was so good. It was like the NXT match of yesteryear. They had put on the instant class in the enclosed Raw for the night. With Finn winning, getting him momentum into that briefcase. So we're gonna see if everything goes well. That ends the Raw Ring report. Let's move over to the SmackDown report. On SmackDown this week, SmackDown, a lot of the championship match between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura is getting very interesting, as Paige was assigned to the contract signing. She's seen these two fighters who've been friends and now they're enemies sign the contract. AJ wants Nakamura. Nakamura kept playing mind games with him during the contract, until AJ had to finally get his attention. And Nakamura finally woke up and signed a contract for their last man standing match at Money in the Bank. So it's really interesting. This might be the final time we might see that. Also, women's action. Two best friends collide. Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. And it was a good match between these two. And Charlotte put Becky over, and Becky won, and we'll see how that goes at Money in the Bank. Plus Asuka and playing mind games with SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella. Carmella still trying to say anybody can defeat Asuka. Either she can defeat her, you can defeat her, anybody. Asuka's had not been the same since WrestleMania. So Asuka had to prove herself and show video packages and highlights of what Asuka's been doing now. Asuka now getting her championship shot at Money in the Bank against Carmella for the SmackDown Women's title. We had to see this. Very interesting to know that at the end, the Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville being put as pawns from Carmella to the foil against Asuka. So we'll see where the last laugh. Plus, The Miz teamed up with Rusev and what's his name? Samoa Joe against the New Day, and it was a good match. They were playing games. Like New Day was playing games with Miz, and Miz touched his hand and thinking it was something about which member of New Day was going to be involved in the Money in the Bank match finally. And Miz put his hand in the pancake batter and realized it when it seemed to be. So we still don't know who he's going to be. I think he's going to be the Big E or Kofi. Can't have probably Kofi, I think. I firmly believe. But they won. New Day won against Miz, Samoa Joe, and Rusev. Where Rusev and Samoa Joe left Miz out hanging, left him high and dry. So, and speaking of Rusev's wife, Lana, she teamed up with Aiden English against Jimmy. I think Jimmy, one of them against Naomi. Naomi won her match and her momentum for the Money in the Bank. Right. If you remember, Naomi was the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Lana was coming with this new gimmick, and Lana didn't win, but Lana was challenging, and a year later they still feuding each other, so they're natural rivals, as you can see. But I think that ends the SmackDown Ring Report. So that does it. Alright, when we come back, we'll have more hot topics. We're going to talk about CM Punk having his trial of the century in his book. In his case, did he win? Did he lose? We'll have all this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show's return. Stay tuned.
The producer.
Back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendra Dix here. Man. Glad you're here. Use the hashtag PSW for everything that's Pro Wrestling Show on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, all social media accounts. I'm glad you can join us here on Connect TV. Alright, let's get to hot topics. Alright, hot topics this week. Man, could you believe it? Y2J Chris Jericho's making moves in New Japan. He made an appearance at the Greatest Royal Rumble this past April, and now he announcing a partnership with Impact Wrestling to come along and come aboard his cruise of Jericho. Now, we have many. Jericho already have enough from the Ring of Honor superstars and from independent wrestling's own famous people. So, hey, this is a good look for Jericho. Jericho inviting the Impact crew, inviting the Ring of Honor crew. I thought the cruise Jericho was intentional for Ring of Honor because they had it looking like they had a tournament where the Ring of Honor people are whoever the Ring of Honor challenging for the World Championship, and maybe they can infuse that with Ring of Honor versus Impact. First time ever. Chris Jericho might be making some moves, may have to change the cards, the subject. Hey, let's make this ROH versus Impact. Let's see who's let's find out. Let's figure out who is the number 2 company in the world. Because many people used to consider Impact was number 2 behind WWE. Now, since Ring of Honor coming up and having tours and stuff like that, you got to wonder, like, is Ring of Honor the kind of number? Because Impact doesn't tour that much. Impact just do tapings. Where Ring of Honor say tour and does tapings. So you gotta, take account of that. Like, okay, well, and let's look at what Jericho had to say about it. Take a look.
Hey guys, I'm out here in Los Angeles. I just had an extensive meeting with Impact Management, and as a result, I am proud to say that Impact Wrestling will be a part of the Jericho Cruise. That's right, Impact will be on board October 27th, leaving from Miami to the Bahamas, and you can be a part of it too. Book your cabin now at ChrisJerichoCruise.com. Impact Wrestling is coming aboard, and things just got a little bit more interesting. We'll see you there.
Alright, Chris Jericho made an announcement, made it official that Impact Wrestling is indeed on board with the Cruise of Jericho. Like, speaking of Cruise, there's Leo Rush, the NXT star and used to be in the indie scene, is coming to 205 Live, and he's gonna make an impact. Now, if you haven't seen Leo Rush's work, take your time on YouTube and just Google him and just see his work. His athletic skills, his athletic prowess, and you'll be amazed at this. I think he's about 24-year-old prodigy, Leo Rush. I'm telling you, take him. He's coming 205 Live, so be on the lookout for Leo Rush. All right. Also, WWE announced that new UK legend Johnny Saint will be the general manager for their UK tours for the UK brand. So, Johnny Saint, a legendary wrestler, becoming the GM of WWE UK brand. Big things popping, big things shopping. Up in there. Also, trying to see what else. Also, Impact Wrestling announced too that Austin Aries has merged the Impact and the Grand Championship as to one undisputed world championship. And you see right here, big things right there, big things. Like merging the belts, because they didn't have nothing for the Grand Championship. As you know, the Grand Championship was announced by former Impact president Billy Corgan, who now the NWA president. He wanted to bring something new and different and innovative to Impact. And he brought the grand title system, with the system becoming like MIA rules, but now things has changed, things has evolved, and Impact feel like they can't keep up with that no more. So, well, I would still have a secondary title to the world title rather than X Division. That's just me. But I'll talk to you later on about what I think about that on the Impact Ring Report. Vince Russo leaves Twitter for good. Yes, Vince Russo made the announcement that he is fed up with Twitter. He don't want to be a part of it. It's too much negativity going on in Impact, negative reaction. So he decided he just wants to leave and go on to another frontier, rather than be Twix or YouTube. He wasn't with Podcast One. He had a falling out with them. So the Russo brand. So Vince Russo leaves Twitter, and someone put this by Jim Cornette. Cornette and Russo hate each other and hate their guts. So, yep. Speaking of Russo's former buddy, WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett wins the Mexican title. Yes, the AAA title. You see right here, along with Kevin Cross and everyone else. WJ Jeff Jarrett, champion outside the ring, champion in the ring, winning titles left and right. Many WWE superstars are feeling disgruntled. As you can see right here, Tyler Breeze, who was a tag team on Raw, and the Revival feel like they're frustrated with WWE. not being pushed into the as they was in NXT. Hey, you know, that's the system that you live in. You know, that's how Mr. McMahon sees it. You know, just do like Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal and the rest of them. You know, you stay there unless they get rid of you, or you just like be like CM Punk and just say screw it, I just leave and just leave on my own, be my own crew. They'll want me if they want me, they don't. So hey, it's a 50-50 chance like Jinder and Drew did. They got released. The league didn't have nothing for them to do. Went on to become stars outside the league. Came right back. Pick up what they left off. CM Punk, on the other hand, left and never came back. And he stood to his word for now. Alright, speaking of Punk, CM Punk did have a court case with it's been going on for 2 weeks. And CM Punk, the verdict had reached that the jury had found CM Punk not guilty. And CM Punk won his case over WWE doctor Chris Amon. And Chris Amon, they said that he felt like ain't nothing moved or nothing, but the aspect of CM Punk won, so he's vindicated over that. Take a look at some highlights that CM Punk has said, him and Colt Cabana.
Steven Milhausen here with CM Punk, and how do you feel, my friend?
I would never be able to describe how. I mean, I'm happy. You know, I'm super happy. I'm relieved. I'm happy for Colt Cabana. You know, my friend Scott first and foremost. You know, I'm happy for me second. You know, I'll always protect my friends and my family before me.
I was watching you after it ended, and they announced the verdict, and it seemed like 1 million pounds were lifted off of your shoulders, and that's what it felt like to me. Was that the?
Yeah, this has been, you know, in a word, I think it has been pretty frivolous, and I'm shocked it made it this far. But you know, I was always confident because all I had to do was tell the truth, you know, and in the end, you know, I'm super grateful towards the jury for coming to the correct verdict. But you know, still being in court is nerve-wracking. So the fact that this is all over, and I'm hoping it's all over, and I hope I never have to talk about it again, and I never have to hear certain names and certain words, and I don't have to relive me being forced to work through concussions anymore and hear people's testimony about it. I'm just happy it's over. It's a good day.
Happy, one of the happiest days of your life, knowing that now this chapter of your life, the WWE life, is officially over.
I mean, if we can 100%, without a doubt, say that, yeah, this would be one of the happiest days of my life. But I'll always be looking over my shoulder, I think.
I know we're going to be talking in a few days for Media Day coming up on Thursday, but just real quick, how are you feeling fight-wise? You look in fantastic shape, so it feels like everything's going as planned right now as we head towards it.
I feel good and I look good.
Definitely look good.
I'm not trying to cut a promo or anything, but I think in a weird way, this trial made me even more ultra focused on what I have to do on Saturday.
Congratulations. I'll see you Thursday.
Thank you.
I've been here the whole time, and me and you talked about 40 minutes ago, and I asked how you're feeling before the verdict, and you're like, ask me in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
40 minutes later, how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I was confident throughout this whole thing, but it's just, you know, my lawyer told me very early, like, you just never know, you know, a jury could be feeling this way one day or whatever, so you just never know. So, but at the end of the day, the jury came to the right decision, the decision that we all kind of felt was obvious, but again, I feel great. It's just all finally, hopefully, all done. I can get this out of my life. I can move forward and just, you know, I don't have a lot of negativity in my life, and this was bringing some unwanted stress, so I'm just glad that that's kind of removed now, hopefully.
What is this last almost 3.5 years? What has this been like for you?
Yeah, the worst. I mean, it's the worst. It's just always on your mind. You're always thinking about it, even when you're allowed to not think about it. It creeps back in, and so it's upsetting that the system takes so long, but it's just the reality of it. You have to deal with it, and I just remember being like 34 when it happened and being like, I'm going to be 38, like it's so long when this is going to finally be wrapped up, and here we are, 38. So.
What have you learned about yourself throughout this whole process?
I mean, it sounds more like I've learned about the legal system, I guess. But I never said to myself, like, have I done something wrong? Have I done something bad? I always knew that was Punk's story, and he wanted to tell it, and I never thought there was anything wrong with that. So there wasn't a lot of self-checking or self-realization in the moment, to be honest.
What advice would you give fellow podcasters?
I'm getting insured.
Now, why is that? And you said that.
Yeah.
What is that?
Just if cases like this, they can just come when you don't expect it, and if you're not insured, the money's coming out of your pocket.
I thought the coolest moment was when you and Punk embraced, and I could see you both crying. And what was all that like when you guys finally saw you guys just crying? It felt like all this weight of the world was released on you guys.
I mean, he was, when he was done with the podcast that we did, all this weight was off his chest, and then it gets sucked right back into it. Not only that, into a court case, into all this stuff and all this money and everything's involved. So I knew the relief he felt when he was done. So got a good sense of the relief he felt when he was done with this court case.
And with this, what would you like to say to the Colt Cabana fans?
I mean, I just, everyone was supporting me. I mean, not everyone, but my fans, I constantly get updates, and people were with me and have been for so long, and it's just nice, like, validation that a jury of my peers, they got it.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
Yeah, CM Punk won his case, definitely. And CM Punk don't have to worry about that. CM Punk now can focus on tonight's match and his UFC fight. But then the question is, will CM Punk come back ever to wrestling? Punk had words that we didn't think that existed. So it's a maybe, it's maybe not, but a lot of reports saying that he's not coming back to wrestling. But if you don't win this match, you might have to make that be your option C. You saying? All right. That, and speaking of what Punk had everybody in his case. His wife AJ inside. She testified. He testified. Colt Cabana testified. Everybody testified. But at the end, Punk won. So kudos, big ups to CM Punk for winning his case. All right. That ends the Raw, not the Raw, but the Hot Topics. Let's move up to the Impact Report on Impact Wrestling this week. Man. Now I can say this Impact was kind of getting better. Last week episode was, not so much, but they kind of draw my interest at the end. I want to talk about that later. But Impact started with a bang where they was giving high recaps of what had happened at Under Pressure, their special, and it was okay. And the only problem I had was with the Austin Aries and Josh Matthews and Skype of all places. Austin Aries, Josh Matthews had good lighting, but Austin Aries should have had better lighting on his side. It was just like, oh my god! And then you could tell that the Skype audio feed wasn't that good and that great. So they just making something work and stuff, and they're hyping up the pay-per-view Slammiversary coming next month. Now they need to make Slammiversary like their version of SummerSlam if they can. They had Eli Drake had hosted his show The Fact of Life and brought out Moose as his guest, and Moose took a tumble from Eli Drake. And next week these two men will meet each other one-on-one to determine who will go on the Slammiversary to meet Austin Aries for the World Championship. Now, I'm for both, but I would say make it a triple threat match. It adds more sizzle to the fire. A little that I know. This what it is. Plus, Tessa Blanchard keeps on coming up, raving reviews and stuff. She attacked Kiara Hogan after Tessa wanted to confront Madison Rayne. I think Tessa's a former a future champion in Impact, so they got to keep that up with her attitude, her mean streak, her pedigree. So that's good. Tessa, keep doing what you're doing, cause you're doing something. You acting just like your dad, like arrogant here, and still can back it up in the ring. Plus, and finally, the unsanctioned match between Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards. Now, Callihan felt like he was the all be all in all, and Callihan sent his OVE brethren to attack Edwards, but at the end, these two, it was just like a fight. It was a fight to the finish. It was just like either, like Eddie Edwards said, he gonna kill me, I'm gonna kill him. It ain't gonna be pretty, and that's what it wasn't. It wasn't pretty until at the end, Tommy Dreamer had to come and save Eddie from his sanity, from killing Callihan, ripping him apart piece by piece. But it was good. It was good. It was a good package. It was done out, planned out right, as you seen Impact do before with when the Hardys were there and when JB was there. It was good. So I give them credit on that. That it was good. They executed it the right way, and they told the story. It didn't have no commentators in the background talking and stuff like that. Let the story play out on its own, and it did good in the end. So I give kudos to Impact on that. Okay, that is the Impact Report. All right, here's a final thought. Now, I just woke up and heard that Anthony Bourdain, famous restaurant, Kate Spade, I don't know of her, but I heard of her. Everyone with the suicide rate, we got to get a little bit better. Everybody's going through something, and you can't change it. Depression happens, and you have to fight that depression, fight that battle. But be willing, be strong, and have faith in God, and have faith in yourself that you can make it through anything. People might pick with you. People might say mean, horrible things. Them people right there, they are the ones that let them move on. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say it all. But for your own sanity, don't never kill yourself, man. Everybody in this world deserve a life being here, and people in this world it's just, when I saw that, I was like, it just can't be. But like I said to you, if you go and do something, talk to somebody that can walk you through it, or who can cope with you with that, rather than just kill yourself. I don't like that, man. But if you go and do something like that, talk to a family member, talk to a friend, so they can kind of talk you out from not doing something like that, and you'll be regretting that for the rest of your life, and you put a lot of people hurt through that process. Alright, that ends the pre-SW for this week. I've been Ken J saying so long, and I'll see you next week.